I'm in a mood. I don't know the mood quite what it is yet, but I'm in a mood. I'm feeling very grateful. That got me a little emotional. I feel like this message is going to be pretty good. This message is 25 years in the making. I don't know that this message could have been shared a year ago. So before I begin in this grateful sentiment that I'm feeling, can we give Jill a round of applause for her amazing job? Thank you, Victoria, for that amazing introduction. And then a really big, if you would, there are so many people working behind the scenes to make this a great day for us. Hopefully it's been a great day for you. Let's give them a big round of applause for all their work. "25 years in the making. Open and honest. I am an EOS implementer. I don't know if you knew that. I've taken 140 companies through the process. I've done over 2,100 sessions. In addition to me, there are 900, almost 900 EOS implementers all over the world that have taken over 30,000 companies through the process and have done hundreds of thousands of sessions. And so about 25 years ago, as I was creating EOS, it was somewhere between the first and the 10th session ever, I added an expectation. There's a common thread that runs through all of those hundreds of thousands of sessions. There's one thing that's consistent in every single session. There's one expectation that's consistent, and it's open and honest. All we ever ask of you as our client is to be open and honest, open and honest, open and honest. And so again, somewhere between the first and the 10th session, it was that early, I added that expectation because I saw it. Those leadership teams, I knew that was the secret ingredient. That was the magic. But open and honest is not only the secret ingredient, because there are secret ingredients throughout EOS. And then there are secret ingredients throughout EOS. This is the secret ingredient. And I am going to do everything in my power. Maybe this is why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. I'm going to do everything in my power to help you see inside of my head so that you can see what I see and why I put it in this thing. And it's lasted 25 years. I think it's going to be one of the things that go down in history if we put any kind of a dent in the universe. EOS does. It's this open and honest thing. And what I'm going to convey to you today is a feeling. Like words cannot describe what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to convey a feeling, and I hope, because it's going to be my soul talking to your soul, I hope you get it. I hope I can communicate this. So, common thread through all those sessions, hundreds of thousands of sessions. I'm going to take you back about 20 years ago to one of those sessions. Sitting in my session room, halfway through the day, 7-person leadership team, sitting around my 12-chair conference table. We're about 3 or 4 sessions into the process, and they were so dysfunctional. And you could just cut the dysfunction with a knife. They were all so defensive and guarded and held back. But the owner of the business, now this was a gritty, blue-collar, back-breaking business. I'm not going to share any names or types of companies because you might figure it out. So 7 tough guys, all men. And the owner was getting it, and he started to see it. And so there I am, I'm sitting at the front of the conference table. He's sitting at the back of the conference table, and he stands up with passion. And he says, guys, we're not getting it. We're not getting it. And he starts unbuttoning his shirt. And his shirt comes off. And then he grabs his belt. Guys, we're not getting it. And he strips all the way down to his tighty whities. Big, burly, hairy guy, hairy. And he says, we gotta be open and honest. We got nothing to hide. And we all break out laughing. And I'm going, okay, we get the point. Can you please put your clothes back on? And it worked. They all lowered their guards. They opened up. And the second half of that day was incredible. And over the following years, they 10x the value of their company. And that's one little story. There are 1,000 of those. Open and honest. Open and honest. Ooh, hope this is the day I can convey this. So, open and honest. The difference between not being open and honest and being open and honest is literally the difference between mediocrity and greatness. The difference between feeling stuck and frustrated to getting everything you want out of your business. And I'm going to take you to that secret ingredient so you know it in your soul, in your bones, because the miracle I'm hoping for today is you're going to go back to work on Monday, and you're just going to get it. Your soul already knows it. It's just your ego's got it all effed up. See, I didn't say the full word. Somebody's growing. So, let's create a scale. Here's a 1. Here's a 10. Open and honest. Every one of you in this room, think about your leadership teams, is somewhere on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how open and honest you are. The ones, in case you don't know, look like this. They don't physically look like that, but energetically, I've seen it 1,000 times. Terrified. The 10s, they look like this. They're just open. They're honest. The 1s, they're defensive and they're holding back. The 10s, open means they're open to anything. You can say anything to them, and they will not get defensive or react. And honest means they say exactly what they're thinking and they're feeling in that moment. So think about your teams, and I need you to score yourself right now. Where are you as a team? Think about your team. I'm not asking you as an individual, as a team. Where are you on the scale? And I need you to think of that number and have that number, because I'm going to get a pulse on this room. So I'm going to assume you have your number. Now humor me. Everyone, first of all, everyone in this room, raise your hand high. Just please do that for me. Even the cool people. Okay, so I know you're capable. Humor me. I'm going to take you down this scale from 1 to 10. And when I hit your number, just humor me, just nice and high. Okay, and so as I go through, just put your hand up when I hit your number and then put your hand down. Just during your number, getting a pulse. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's good. Some of you are in denial, some of you are telling the truth. It's good, statistically accurate. Average is probably about a 4, just to give you a sense of where you are. 4 sucks. So now let's add something to the scale. So you got the scale now. You know where you are on the scale. Now I'm going to let you in on another secret. So now let's apply the EOS tools to the scale. Because the EOS tools, when I say tools, let's oversimplify it, hypersimplify it. I trust you're all familiar with the 5 EOS foundational tools. Thank you. VTO, accountability chart, rocks, meeting pulse, scorecard. Now, the secret is We teach you those tools and help you implement those tools, and as a byproduct, secretly, you are becoming more and more and more open and honest. It's just going to happen. The tools make it happen. It's typically a 2-year process with every client. But if you could understand the secret, if I can get you to flick the switch today, ready for Monday, open and honest, all of a sudden the tools work better. Because VTO, accountability chart, rocks, meeting pulse, scorecard, hope you all know what those are. In this world, at a 1, 2, 3, even 4, it's like crawling through mud. 3-hour VTO reviews in the quarterly. Somebody says 40 million is the revenue goal for the year, and everyone on the team is going, there's no way that's going to happen. And the visionary is going, piece of cake, probably 50. And nobody says a word. Accountability chart, they still can't agree. 20% of the people are still wrong people, wrong seat. Nobody's saying it. Rocks, they're off track mid-quarter. Nobody's saying anything. On track, off track. If it's off track, they won't say a word. Meeting pulse, you're getting to 1, 2, 3 issues. And if you get through 10, you pretend you got through 10. You didn't get through 10 because you didn't solve any of them. You just talked about a bunch of stuff. In the scorecard, same number off track for 5 weeks. Nobody's saying anything. Over here, however, at an 8, 9, 10, VTO reviews, 30 minutes tops in a quarterly. The team is so in sync. It's like butter. I've seen it so many times. Accountability chart, rock solid, all the right people, the right seats. And when there's a people issue, comes up immediately, they discuss it, brutally honest, let it fly, solve it. Minutes, not hours. Rocks. Rocks are set in 2 hours or less every quarter. 80% or better every quarter a hit. Meetings are rock solid, scored 9 and 10. Scorecards rock solid. You get it. So, the tools work better the higher you are on the scale. Making sense so far? So everything I just said, remember I said I'm going to teach you a feeling today. I'm going to teach you a feeling. This is in your soul. I need you to now feel this because I could teach you the exact same thing and grunt through the whole thing, and you'd know exactly what I meant. Let me show you. Did that make sense? You get it. Your soul gets it. So now that your soul gets it, I got to work on your ego for about 15 minutes. It's not going to hurt too bad, but now this feeling I'm trying to convey without words, I got to give you some words, okay? And so as I'm thinking about this and preparing for this, I jotted some things down. And what's funny about this and this feeling I'm having, I maybe know half of what I'm going to say because I wrote 3 hours of content and I'm just going to pick the best of it. But I'm going to feel this because this next thing I want to share with you, I'm going to give you some words, is Open and Honest 101. And I'm going to talk to your ego a little bit. Egos are great, especially in business. We need them. It's how we strategize. It's how we think. It's how we solve problems. But every once in a while, I got to relax that darn thing because it's just trying to protect you. So, Open and Honest 101. First of all, I need to make sure you're clear that open and honest are two completely different things. They could not be more different. It's the combination that is the magic. Open just means you're open. Like I said, anyone can say anything to you, and you don't get defensive, guarded, or reactive. Honest means you say what needs to be said, when it needs to be said. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, you say it. Two different things, vital together. Choosing wisely. I'm checking the clock. I'm trying to decide how much I want to piss you off today. And you got it. And there's a light sense in the room, and that's the kind of audience I love to piss off. So this aha, what I shared with you, I realized EOS is a team health building process. I mean, it just creates healthy teams. This whole conversation, I need you thinking in the context of your leadership team. That's what we're talking about, is how healthy your leadership team is, how open and honest your leadership team is. And then let's address this word love, okay? And so, Victoria, that book visual she showed, she sent it to me, which I told her I don't want to know what you're going to say in the introduction. Do what comes to your heart. And she said, I don't like to surprise you, so I just want you to see this. And so she shows it. I love it. I loved it. But here's what I said to her. I said, is there any way you can make the heart out of a fist? Because that would say it all. Because it's tough love. And so I want to talk about this love thing, because the love piece is the thing I've got to convey. I am accused of being ruthlessly and lovingly honest. If you're just ruthless and not loving, you're a prick. And if you're loving and not ruthless, you ain't gonna get much shit done. But everybody's gonna love you, and we're gonna sing Kumbaya a lot. It's the two together. It's the two together. And so that's where I'm going next. Love. I love what Victoria said. She didn't like any of her people. This whole open and honest thing can't work if there is not love present. But let me clarify that. Love just simply means that you love your leadership team. You love your company. You love your product. You love your customers. There's love present. Hopefully you feel with EOS the love, the place reeks of love. When we come together quarterly as implementers, we've always called it a love-in. Love. So I get away with being ruthless and direct because I can surgically strike. And I'm going to give you some examples today. Because the examples I'm going to give you, you're experiencing this. And some of you, a little too much love, not enough directness. But here's the thing. This is the thing in this topic, in Open and Honest 101. I hope, this. So I have a goal, a secret goal that I'm going to let out. In everything I'm going to share with you, I feel like, I believe, I hope, you're going to get these 3 golden nuggets today. These 3 golden nuggets, different for everyone. Some of you already got one. But these 3 golden nuggets that are going to be the switch, the tipping point, the thing that gets you to a 10. Different for everyone. It's just going to be this big aha, this like, wow. So that's my hope. And I'm hoping this is one of them for the 500 of you that need it. The other thing I want to prepare you for is right in the middle here. I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask questions because it's going to be my opportunity to make sure I'm communicating and you got it. And so as I'm sharing this, if a question comes to you and you're like, oh, I need more, I got to understand that. Wait, I don't get it. Please get ready to run to one of these 3 standing mics in one of these 3 aisles and get your question answered. So start writing questions as they come to you. But here it is. I wasn't lucky, like you would not believe how I get away with my ruthless honesty. But it comes from love. The only reason I can be that honest with you is because I let you be that honest with me. And what's so beautiful is it's like 10 of you are in this room. You've been on the leadership team with me. You've seen my insanity. and how I get away with this, but it's because I love you. And you can say anything to me, anything. And I'm not going to take it personally. I'm not going to get defensive. I'm going to go, I got to give that some thought. So I thought what might be helpful, because this is the thing I'm hoping for those 500 of you, the only reason your team is not open and honest is because you won't open up. They're terrified to say something to you because you freak out. That's your shit. I can say shit. I can't. I'm not going higher than that. And I won't say it too many times. But I gotta let something out. You gotta let something out. It's percolating in there. So I thought it would be helpful, because I'm a fanatic about getting feedback. I want to be the best version of myself. And so here's some of the feedback I have received. And I'm sharing this because I hope you get the message, because some of you have some feedback you need to receive. So here's some examples. They tell me I'm too quick to assume. They tell me I'm impatient and I need to slow down. Let's take those two, because this patience thing, Gino, you're so impatient. Can you just slow down a little bit? They're 100% right. So my job then is to take that, ponder it, and what it helps me do is become more patient for them, be aware, and give them permission to call me out. So it's just an open dialogue. You're being a little impatient right now, Gino. Oh, okay, I got you. But here's the important thing. I'm an impatient guy. You ain't getting that out of me. If I gain the patience of a saint, the person with the patience of a saint has just as many issues as I do as an impatient person. They're just very different issues, and I don't want those frickin' issues. They don't accomplish shit. But nobody ever calls them impatient. And I'm not knocking that. But that's not the life for me. But I can tone it down, and I can meet people halfway, and I'm so grateful that they tell me, I don't know, someone said this to me, you don't know the universal weight of your words. So what a lesson was that for me? Because I got to be careful. It's like everything I'm saying today, this is just this silly little 58-year-old OCD, ADD, traumatized kid that tried to protect himself for the world at 15, that I just love helping people. Don't give me too much credit. Glean what you want, leave what you don't. I can be rigid and inflexible. It's true. I'm fanatical about when this is it, we're not changing from it. And I need to be a little more flexible sometimes. I can come off as mean. Yes, I can. I can be a little too direct. So I got to back that off. I don't want to be known as a mean person. But again, I'm not going all the way this way, but I can meet in the middle. And with this feedback, I become a better and a better and a better person, a better form of myself, a better version of myself. And I'm saying this because you all need, I could keep going. I'm not going to, because I want to make the point. And I wrote down, thinking of you, are you capable of hearing what everyone who knows you thinks of you, good and bad? Let's simplify it. Your leadership team. You should know everything your leadership team thinks of you, good and bad. All of you. If you're a 5-person leadership team, I'm not just talking about the visionary here. And so people are so afraid. If you're not 100% open. If that scares you, you're not 100% open. The one thing exercise that we do every year in team health. Hopefully you're all doing that. Oh, hopefully you're all doing that. It's this gift for your leadership team. 2 hours once a year at the annual, where you get to give each other feedback. Here's what you're doing great. Here's what you're not doing so great. Here's what you need to start or stop doing. I now have clients, we've been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years. You would not believe the metamorphosis from that little 2 hours once a year. Please make sure you're doing that every year. It's right in Traction. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the one thing exercise. And I extend this to everyone in my life. 2 years ago, reached out to 20 people. I said, tell me my 3 greatest strengths and my 3 greatest weaknesses. My family, my friends, people in business, our kids. What I always did with the kids, I did it about 3 times. I would say, how am I doing? Like, what could I be doing better for you? How can I be a better dad? Because I want to just open the floodgates. I want to open the floodgates. Had asked them to answer the question, 3 greatest strengths, 3 greatest weaknesses. We had this conversation where I may have to use profanity because I'm quoting somebody. In this case, it's me. So Kathy and I, my wife Kathy and my son Gino are here. Sat down with our 2 kids. They're 30 and 33 now. It's about 5 years ago. And we said, hey guys, we fucked you up. Right now, you don't see it. You don't believe it. You know, you think we're still kind of cool, but we fucked you up. And the day you realize it, because that day's coming, come talk to us. Come talk to us. We want to talk. Just know we want to talk about it. Imagine your parents saying that to you. And then one last little point on this. My son Gino, again, who's in the room, get me a little emotional. We go to most Lions games, season ticket holders. It's one of our favorite things to do as a family, and we're at the Lions game. We're bar hopping, and we're going from one place to another. And Gino and I are walking. Again, we're all 4 walking, and he's talking to me, and he goes, Dad, you're just not here. And I was totally distracted. So he's trying to talk to me, and I'm just gone, because that's one of the other pieces of feedback. Not present all the time. You're just not here, Dad. And what I get emotional about is how much of a gift that was. What a gift that he's comfortable telling me that, number one. That he's comfortable telling me that. And number 2, he changed my life with that. Changed my life. So I'm spending a little extra time on this one because I'm asking you to please look at yourself. The only way you can get away with being honest with your people is if you let them be honest with you. You got to be open. You got to go first. You got to go first. You got to say, you can tell me anything. Tell me when I'm screwing up. Tell me when I'm not the best version of myself. Because I'm going to do that with you. At least that's my approach. But it's always with love from me. Did that make sense? I really want to make sure this point makes sense because 500 of you needed that. Thank you for the applause. Thank you. And if there's nothing else I tell you in Open and Honest 101, I got to give you one tangible, okay? So Ken Bogart sent this to me. It's a study by Grossman Group. And it says companies with highly effective communicators have 47% higher returns. Now, when you are open and honest, when you are at a 10, it is impossible not to have an organization that communicates extremely well. So open and honest equals great communication. So you get a 47% higher return if you will do this. So there's something tangible that hopefully you will consider. Said another way, if we do our jobs today, you're getting a 47% increase. Now, that was Open and Honest 101. I said I was going to give you some examples. And if only you could see what's going on in my head, because I've got 20 examples, I'm just going to give you a handful. And I'm trying to decide, I don't know which way the scale goes, but piss them off, freak them out. Anyway, I'm going to start with this one. So Victoria told me this. So what I did is I emailed all the people that were on my teams. And I said, can you give me an example of when I was ruthlessly and lovingly honest with you? And I got a bunch of examples. And what's crazy is I couldn't remember half of them. Because again, I don't need to. We're just going, man. We're executing. And with love, I'm going to tell you what I need to tell you. And with love, you're going to tell me. So this is Victoria. Victoria tells me this story. I don't remember it. So the first 10 years, recruiting new EOS implementers, I ran all the quarterlies. I ran all the boot camps. So that's 40 boot camps every quarter for 10 years. This was probably boot camp number 30. And this is when we bring in these new recruit EOS implementers. And this is 2 days intense to make sure they have what it takes. And one of the things we do in those 2 days is we have them do an improv 90-minute meeting. And what that means is the 90-minute meeting is the first engagement with our clients to see if they want to move forward. And it's got to be great. You got to be great at the 90. So we do an improv to see how good they are. An improv just means they don't know when they're going next, but one person stops, the next person goes in there and picks up where they left off. They finished, and I said, that's the worst 90-minute meeting I have ever seen. Now, let's break that down. If they're not good at the 90, they're going out of business. We're going out of business. This is not something to play around with. There's no time for me to say, well, let's talk about all the things you did well. And then, there's just a thing I want to say to you. No, there's no time for that. Because if I do that, I lose 7 minutes of helping them. And what's beautiful is when I said, that's the worst one I've ever seen, AKA you guys sucked. They felt my love because now I'm going to punch in and do everything in my power to make them great. When I hit you with something like that, it's because I want you to be great. I owe it to you. And you out there, you have sales teams. They're not great. They're not doing it the way they're supposed to be doing it. Be honest with them. You have operations teams that are making the product, providing the service, and there's a way to do it, and they're not doing it great. And you're letting it happen. I'm incapable of doing that. There's one example. Another example, recent, my marketing guy. Supposed to create a video sizzle reel. He did 2 rounds. We saw the first round, we didn't love it. We saw the second round, we didn't love it. We all met. I said, hey, I don't think you're good at making sizzle reels. Oh, did that piss him off? In a good way. In a week, he comes back with the most incredible sizzle reel. Wouldn't have happened if I wasn't honest. And he felt my love. If you see something subpar, you must say it if you want to be great. One of our top implementers, met him in Chicago, core value issue, just one, humble, very arrogant, one of our top 10. We can't, somebody who's like top 10, you can't be arrogant in this organization. You just can't, because the top ones are going to perpetuate. So we had a heart-to-heart. It was very emotional, very intense, 2 hours. But I wasn't leaving that meeting until he either left or decided to work on his stuff, which he did. We owe it to them. You have that situation right now. Think of your top people in your organization. If they don't have all your core values, they're perpetuating that. I'm sharing these, so hopefully they translate for you. Selling the business. I decided to sell the business. I decided to sell EOS Worldwide 8.5 years ago. Within weeks of deciding to sell the business, I stood in front of the entire company, 200 people. And I said, I'm selling the company. I did the opposite of what every professional tells you to do. Don't tell everybody, keep it a secret. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. That's not open and honest. Now, you have to decide whether you would take the same approach, because if you're a 1, 2, 3, you're probably gonna have a mass exodus. You're an 8, 9, 10. So we just had this beautiful conversation. I answered all their questions. I told them why in great detail, but I had to tell them. I couldn't live with myself surprising them. That's just me. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I was working with one of my co-authors. He's going through a divorce, so you got to have some empathy for that, which, believe it or not, I do have empathy. But it was subpar work, and I wrote down how he said it. I said, you're not doing your best work. Now, there's a part of me that wants to he's going through a tough time, but no. I mean, we're writing a book that's going to be out in the world, and it's got to be great, and there's a deadline. And then he kicked ass. So if you're seeing subpar work, I'm saying this for you. I'm going to share one more. How are we getting along right now? All right, listen. 50 of you are going to be offended. Just send it to Kelly here. But this is just my style. And so I'm with one of my teams, and we are on a brutally tough, potentially going out of business kind of an issue. Like, it's a serious issue. And so one team member is conveying to the other team member, listen, man, you gotta step up, do more, all this stuff. And he's telling it to him, and I'm sitting here observing and thinking about how I would do it, which would be much more ruthlessly, lovingly honest. And then they got done, and I could see that this just wasn't going to be productive because it was so like 10, this wasn't a 10, this was a 3 communication. And so I said, so here's my observation. You're trying to kick him in the balls, and all you did was flicked his nut. Send it, Kelly@EOSworldwide.com. But the point was made. And then the rest of the day was kick him in the nuts, kick him in the nuts, kick him in. And it was like so clear that we got to turn up the heat. And it was so powerful. So that one compared to the one I was going to share, thank you for letting me do that. But sometimes you got to kick somebody in the, thank you, with love. I'm having fun. All right, so then the last thing that came to me, and then we're getting close to answering some questions, so get ready to think about your questions, and we'll just spend a few minutes on questions. But be bold and brave with your questions. I love answering your question. It's going to help take the knowledge in this room up. But then I wrestle with, so then I'm sitting there thinking, why would you not? Like everything I said. I mean, do I need to do this again? You get it. How could you not at this point? So then I couldn't help but think about all the reasons you wouldn't. And so the first thing that came up is that it's conditioning. It's generational. You were taught to close up. So, I don't know why this gets me emotional, because probably I can relate to most of it. But if you've ever heard or said any of this to yourself, this is a short list. I could keep going with 200 more. But it's generational. It was put into our great-grandparents, and then into our great-grandparents, and to our grandparents and our parents, and they put it into us, and we're putting it into our kids. And you can break the cycle. Or it's just conditioning, societal conditioning. So, have you ever heard, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all? Well, you're going out of business with that advice. Thanks, Ma. That one. Oh. So, with some of these, get ready, because you're going to start to see my heat going up. So I'm going to that list of, so this is where, when I get to some of these, you might hear me get a little, it's in here somewhere. I thought I was going to find it fast. Anyway, you get the point. A little impatient, a little angry, I get emotional about these. Never raise your voice. Come on. But if that's what you were taught, if I raise my voice, something bad's going to happen. If I say the wrong thing, they might laugh at me. Admit it. Like half of you, right? It's just, if I say this, they'll laugh at me. I might get fired. I'll be out of a job. So it's like, if I say this thing in the meeting, I might get fired. So because what I'm trying to do is surgically strike. Remember, 3 each. I think we're close to 2 each. We got to get to the third one. But I'm going to go in there, and I want to surgically strike. I want to pull that thing out of you. So this one. So what? But it's real, because here's what your ego's doing. If they fire me, I will be out of a job. If I'm out of a job, I will go broke. If I go broke, I will be homeless. If I am homeless, I will starve and die. That goes on in half a second. They'll fire me. Who gives a shit if they fire you? You will get to that place. So clean that up and clean that up and clean that up and clean that up and let that go and let that go. And all of a sudden it's like, fire me. I'm saying this thing. I'm saying this thing. And if they fire you, you were getting fired eventually anyway. Or you were going to live in hell for 5 years, holding back every day. Let it fly, everybody. Let it fly. And this isn't even the part where I'm going to start getting passionate. If I say this, I might look bad. You resonate with that one? If I say this, they won't like me. They won't love me. Most of us. That feedback hurt my feelings. I'm not good enough. 200 more. It's all going on in there with all this stuff. All this stuff. Conditioning, conditioning, conditioning. When you see it, shed light on it, it goes away. 3 hours of content in an hour. Oh, so why would you not? Generational issues, trauma, past pain. Telling the truth and hearing the truth is really hard for most people. Just let that sink in. I mean, just, if nothing else with that statement, you go, oh, I'm not alone. Because it's really hard for me to tell the truth, and it's really hard for me to hear the truth. Admit that, it's going to start to change. This is the one. We're leading up to it. So I'll say this before this one, okay? So our only expectation, the consistent expectation every session of you is that you're open and honest. And then we lovingly say, filling you full of truth, serum, and bourbon. And what I'll say when I say open and honest is all I ask every session. I say, so I want you to lower your guards, open your minds, and let it fly. Lower your guards, open your minds, and let it fly. And that's what truth, serum, and bourbon does. So there are ways of turning off the ego temporarily to get the truth out of you. And just understand that it's your ego. And if you can figure out how to relax it, you will be more open. You will be more honest. All right. Whew, so here it comes. I got to do a couple deep breaths on this one and have a drink of water and do a time check. Okay, right on schedule. I got to look for those words because I got to do a standing meditation right now with what's about to happen with this one. Okay. So I'm too quick to assume. I'm impatient. I come off as mean. It's all about to come out on this one. It's all about to come out on this one. Because why would you? So I've been on this like honesty kick. And as I teach it and share it, I have a Shed and Shine podcast. They're 15-minute episodes. I do a riff. And I did this riff you're about to hear. And so when I'm sharing this thing about being honest, almost every time, someone will say, hey, Gino, what about kindness? Okay, there it is. Gino, what about kindness? And I don't react because I'm able to control myself. Well, let's talk about kindness. Because being clear and direct is kind. Get ready for this one. Holding back because you don't think it's being kind is unkind. And if you really want to go psychologically deep, when I hold back to saying something to you because I'm somehow managing your emotions or feel like I'm being unkind, it's a form of manipulation. Now that would take me a half hour to explain that one, if you want to go that psychologically deep. But holding back is unkind. Leading up to the main point. Oh, this study. Thank you for this study. So this study on communication, we're going to put this kindness thing to rest. So the study shows in great communication, 55% is body language. 55%, no words. 55% is body language when I'm communicating with you. Love, open and honest. 38% is tone of voice. Love, open and honest. When I love you, it comes across the right way. 7% is spoken word. Words. I don't know what the hell happened with this word thing. It's like, you get offended because I swear? Do you know the arrogance of that? It'd be like me being upset because you don't swear. They're just words. Why are we teaching each other words? These are the right words. Those are the wrong words. Words, 7%, the words don't matter. Words don't matter. Words matter. Bullshit. If we all loved each other, the right words just come out. If we all love each other, the words just come out. And that's how I get away with it, because I love you. And it may come off as ruthless, but it's loving. 7% is words. Let's stop. 93% is all this other stuff we're talking about. Did that make sense? Whew. I'll calm down now. Time check. It's like Sophie's Choice here. Now, I'm human. When I go into one of these tough conversations, when I have to say that tough thing, when I'm sitting there watching that 90-minute thing going, oh my God, is this awful? And then I say to them, it's the worst one I ever seen. I'm terrified. I don't want to say that to somebody. I'm terrified having a tough conversation. So if you're terrified, that's normal. That makes you human. I'm terrified, but I have to. We're in the context of business here, but I have to if I want to build a great company, if I want to have great people. I have a track record. People stay with me for decades. If I was that ruthless, Gino sounds really mean. He seems so mean. Ask the people that have been with me for 10, 20, 30 years. There's something to this. Consider it. Not bragging, just trying to make a point. Get ready. Questions are coming in 2 minutes, so get ready with your questions. And then what's going to happen after the questions, hang in there, because then I have a closing message. It's going to take me about 10 minutes, and I want to put the icing on the cake and maybe give you that third golden nugget. So, this one might be, well, I'll just say it this way. Get ready. If your team, when I say this, think about your leadership team, and then think about the leader of the leadership team when I say this. But then you're all leaders, and you have teams. So I'm talking to all of you. If your team isn't open and honest, it's you. It's you. Why aren't they open and honest? Well, Gino's making sense. On Monday, I'm going to tell them to be open and honest. It's you. It's you. So here's what I wrote. If you don't want to hear the truth, look inside. If you don't feel comfortable saying it, look inside. So then I wrote this, and then we're going to jump to some questions. I got a mess up here. 3 hours of content. Oh, I had fun with this one. So just some questions. Are you willing to be wrong? Are you willing to make a mistake? Are you willing to be embarrassed? Are you willing to say the wrong thing? Are you willing to say you're sorry? Are you willing to forgive yourself? Do you love yourself? That's the root of all of it, everybody. We got to get to the point, and I think it's coming. Seems like people are waking up. I feel an awakening brewing. We got to get to a point where you're just like, hit me with it. There's like nothing you can say to me that can hurt me. Nothing. It passes right through me. But the good stuff, I grab it and I learn from it and I study it and it makes me better. We got to get to that place. And you can do it Monday. You got to go first. You got to go first. You got to go first.
Is there such a thing as going too far, where you just go over the edge and you're too honest and it's just too much?
Well, here's what I would say. Everything I said, let's keep it in the context of business, okay? So in the context of business. So like, this is the first thing that came up, so forgive me, but you're sitting in a leadership team and you go, I'm feeling horny right now. Anybody else feeling horny? Like, that's going too far. You went a little too far on that one. But, so keep that shit out of there, right? But business, I don't think it's possible to go too far in business, but watch this. So, all of a sudden I'm being honest. This is when IDS kicks in. Because if I'm being honest and I say what needs to be said, then you all get to say what needs to be said. And once it's all been said, integrator's gonna break the tie. You don't get to keep saying your thing over and over and over. And it may not go your way, but at that point you just need to disagree and commit. But you were honest. So I don't think in business you can go too far. You can overdo it by repeating yourself. I mean, you gotta disagree and commit once it's all been said. Did that help?
Sure.
Awesome, I'm gonna go here.
Thank you.
My question is, could you repeat or say more about the difference between open and honest?
Yes. And I tried really hard to condense it. So I'm gonna try and say it maybe a little bit different, but first of all, I need you to buy into they're different so that you don't keep trying to combine them, because if you keep trying to figure out how to combine them, you're never gonna get this. So just say, Gino, I promise I will separate them in my mind. Open, because they're the opposite. And it's like open is just saying, you can tell me anything, I'm open. Honest is I can tell you anything. That's it. Open's going this way, honest going that way, from my standpoint. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
But it's got to have both. Can't have one without the other. Because here's the funny thing, okay? Whole bunch of honest people out there. Whole bunch of them who ain't open. And they're dicks. And they're on your leadership teams. Because they're like, well, I speak my mind. But somebody speaks their mind to them, and it's like World War II. They're so defensive and all their shit, right? So being honest and not open really makes you a prick. So you gotta have both. You gotta have both, okay? Thank you.
How did you get to the point where nothing triggered you?
Well, things still trigger me, but it's reduced 90%. I really feel that number is true. So how did you get to the point? It's taken me 7 years, done a lot of therapy. I get a lot of help. I work with some really cool people. But I think have you read my book, Shine? I'm not trying to sell you a book.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, it's in there, but what I learned is I just finally learned about my ego. I started studying the ego at 30, but I didn't get it until 5 years ago. So when I saw how the ego works, so realizing that you keep saying that thing to me, which gets me to react, there's something going on there. There's something in that I've got to learn about myself, because the only reason that's happening is that person is here to teach me something in this lifetime. And I got to learn that thing they're trying to teach me. And so you do that once, 7 years ago, and then you do that twice, and then 3, and then there's your, so it took me 8 years. I'm down to about 90%, but I still get triggered. Awareness, I would just call it awareness. Just pay attention. It's really hard to do, but when you heighten your awareness, because early on, when you get triggered, you don't even know you got triggered, and then you figure it out like 10 minutes later, then you got to go back, and you can't even remember the thing. But then you'll catch it in 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6, 5, 4, and all of a sudden you'll start to realize, whoa, that just triggered me. So now when people trigger me, I just have this way, I go, and I breathe, because I can feel it. I can feel my blood pressure. And I just kind of say thank you, or I'll ask a question. So one of the most powerful things I heard is reaction, response. Response is good. Responding to what somebody said is very healthy. Reaction is when they own you. So that really hit home for me. Best I got for you. Does that help?
Thank you.
Going back over here.
Hi.
Hi.
I have 2 pieces. One, I heard that being open and honest is a way to show love. Is that what you were communicating?
Well, that's interesting. So let me buy myself some time. No, I'm kidding. So, like, to me, it's like open, honest, vulnerable, authentic, loving. Those are all in the same vein. You are getting at what I wrestle with all these crazy notes and all of this thinking and processing. So what I'd love to leave you with is this clarity about open and honest. Like just start there, because I think love follows. But hang on to that. Let's keep it over here for a second. Just if we can just start by being open and honest. I would treat love as separate, and where love came into it. So, I am in business, Mr. Love. I built everything on love. I've been doing this for probably 15 years is when it really came up strongly in business. It's really separate. It's when Mike Payton called me ruthlessly and lovingly honest, where the two kind of found themselves together. So I think trying to squeeze it together is a little bit of a head game. And I would just suggest, when I define love, it's loving the company, loving your team, loving your people, loving the product, just love, and just bring that into the entirety of the organization. But you as a being, be open and honest. I don't know if that helps, but it's just like you, if we're working together, you're going to feel my love, because I just love you, So yeah.
The second piece, thank you. I understand it better now.
Good.
Do you use a specific or concise definition of love?
No, but this is why, because I haven't been able to define it. Like at its purest form, it ain't a word, right? Like that's just the word we picked. So there ain't a word for it. It's a feeling. But that's why, like with 1,600 new friends, if I we get into like love and we start taking shit off and rubbing baby oil over ourselves, you can go like really extreme, okay? So I put it in a business context because for some reason this resonates. Love your people, love your business, love your leadership team. But love's got to be what it means to you. But I look at the faces and they're like, I get that. But then there's a romantic love, and so this is where it starts to really get twisty. Love is just this incredible feeling. It's like I'm just so connected. Human connection came up this morning. Everything we're talking about, this whole thing is human connection. This is communication. Best I got for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. In the development of a leader from 1 to 10,
Yes.
I imagine somewhere in that process you have moments where you're neither open nor honest with your team, but when reflecting back, you see that and want to address it. How do you then address that with the team to show them that you are making progress towards that?
So are you saying to me, I want to make sure I understand that, you're saying as you built your team from 1 to 10.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, as me as an individual leader, if I'm sitting as a 1 here, and I want to get
you're on the scale. You're on the scale of 1 to 10. Yep.
Yes.
So
what happens in those moments where you're not open and honest, and how do you course correct?
So as you're going up the scale, you're saying you have a moment of weakness, right? And you weren't open or you weren't honest. So like somebody said something and you really did get defensive. You really did get reactive. Like it got ugly, right? You're saying that? Yeah. Just forgive yourself. Like I've read that on the list. You're going to screw this up. I screw this up. You are going to screw it up. You're going to convey a message honestly and screw it up and hurt somebody's feelings deeply. You just got to apologize. You got to forgive yourself. For all forgiveness, you got to start with yourself. You can apologize all you want, but if you don't forgive yourself, you're going to make yourself crazy. So screw it up. And I won't say the full word, but I love teaching people this. I effed up. If we would just say that more. If you're not effing up, you're not trying hard enough. So you're going to screw it up. So be kind with yourself, be gentle, forgive yourself, and apologize when you screw it up with people. Because you're going to screw it up and you're going to hurt some people. But it's like to figure out how to not hurt anyone ever, you're going out of business in 7 years. Is that worth it? But so you got to lean into this thing and learn. And every time you bump your head and hurt somebody, that you learn something, and you probably will never do it again. Best I got for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Go in here.
Gino, I think I got this honest in love down. I just want to make sure that you think I got it right.
Sure.
But we self-implemented from 1/1 of 21, and then last June we decided to hire an implementer, and it was Justin Moust.
He's a badass.
I like to set goals, so I set a goal to graduate on December 31st of 2027, having it really down. And then in my infinite wisdom, I decided to write him a letter 3 years ahead. And in that letter, I went in and talked, and finally I come to the very last part, and I say, thank you, Justin. You're the most loving prick I've ever met.
and he is also ruthlessly and lovingly honest. So we have about 2 minutes left just to prepare you, because we're not going to get through everybody, but I'm going to do my best.
Okay, so to what extent do you think open and honest can be taught or what do you do with someone on your team where you keep bumping it up against what seems like an inability to be open and honest?
Yeah, and so hopefully if I've conveyed anything, open is the biggie, okay? It's like most people could be honest, and again, it's damaging if it's not open. So open's the hard one. And so I always like to look at spectrums on everything, and you have people that are growth oriented and want to learn and grow and change and ascend and work on this stuff, and you got people that just don't. And you got people that are deeply traumatized, and they're deep, horrible forms of abuse that happen to them. But whatever the story is, there's no willingness to change. And so by all measurables, in this lifetime, they are going to stay as guarded, as defensive. They're going to keep that shield up for the rest of their life. In that case, there's nothing you can do. You can try. You decide if you want to take that on, but then you've got to make a decision, because if you've got somebody in your team that just will not open up, and it's dragging the team down, fire them. I want to say it that way, just to cut to the chase, but in a loving way. But the growth-oriented people, you have the conversation and you say, can I share something with you that might be really uncomfortable and weird? And, here's what I've been working on. I'm seeing something in you. Can I share it with you? And so the growth-oriented people, they'll listen to it and just go there with them and talk about why they're so closed and guarded. Does that help?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, you can't save them all. You can't save them all.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, about a half a minute left. Sorry.
I'll make it quick.
Yeah.
Open, honest, the side of honest that I struggle with is being wrong or incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm surgically striking right now. I'm going in. All right, let's see. You were 8, and that son of a gun did that to you, and so that made you afraid to be wrong, and because if you're wrong, then you're an idiot, and you're worthless, and whatever it comes from, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. I would just have this talk with yourself. You're going to be wrong, but go into what is that thing? It's something back there that happened and you were wrong and you were so embarrassed that you think you're going to die if it happens again. Your ego is doing that to you and it's just not true. Okay. You're going to be wrong. And if you're not wrong often, you're not doing your job. Okay. So just say it. And yeah, sometimes they will laugh, and that was kind of stupid. And then you just kind of go, no, that was kind of stupid. So it's you got to get to that place. Then it's fun, and it's light, and it's powerful.
Okay,
all right.
Thank you.
So I am going to be at the cocktail party tonight. Come on by with your questions, please. And I'm going to bring us into the home stretch with this closing message that, I hope I can land this plane well. So first, a little context. I have a dream. So, authentic, entrepreneurial leaders came to me in November. But just imagine, if we were all authentic, entrepreneurial leaders. When you're open and honest and vulnerable and loving, people will accuse you of being authentic, which isn't such a bad thing. I did a podcast episode on that. Again, Shed and Shine podcast if you're interested. They're 15-minute episodes. Very powerful. But I jotted this down. 3 things to be open and honest about. So just consider this as you go out of here and work toward Monday when you flick the switch to a 10. That's a tall order, and I'm kind of kidding when I say that, but who knows? But 3 things to be honest. Be honest about yourself. Be honest about your company. And be honest about your team. And I'd probably take a clarity break on that. Be honest with yourself. Be honest about your company. Be honest about your team. And I am hyper-focusing on the leadership team. But like I said, you have teams back at the ranch. It starts on the leadership team. But then when you get this, it's just naturally going to flow through all the teams in the organization. You got to be the example. And as I said earlier, when you are open and honest, nothing can hurt you. I wish I could show you. I wish you could see this. Nothing can hurt. There are no words that can hurt you when you're fully open and honest. So, I would ask you to rate yourself. Earlier you rated your team, but now I want to really put your money where your mouth is. You're going to rate you. So here we go, right? 1 to 10, we're back to the scale. Rate yourself. And I want you to roll both together. If you want to separate them, do that on your own time. You can do that real time now. But just really give some thought to you and be really honest. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being best. In terms of you personally, as a human being walking this planet, score yourself. And then commit. Just commit. Like some of you are here alone. Some of you are here with your entire leadership team. Some half your leadership team. But just commit. So if you're here with your team, like stack hands tonight. Let's commit to this. If you're by yourself, commit to yourself. Bring it back to Monday. When it gets tough, and it will, because what you're going to do is you're going to open the floodgates. It's like what my client did after he took all his clothes off. It opened the floodgates. A lot of stuff to solve, man. Once they get honest, get ready. But man, is it going to be good. So when it gets tough, I want you to go, this is what Gino was talking about. This is what Gino was talking about. Blame it on me. But commit to it. Just push through it. This is what it takes. Make a pact. And the last thing I want to say is there is so much chaos and confusion in this world. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy, crazy time. I hope I can convey this image, but it's just crazy out there. And what you are staring at is the opportunity to create a sanctuary, a safe harbor, where you and your leadership team, I know it because I've seen it, I've lived it on my leadership teams, and I see it with my clients. You have a safe harbor. You have this safe place that you can go and be real in this chaotic, crazy world. And so it's like, it's the scene from Gladiator. This is not a great analogy, but it's what comes up for me. And if you remember the scene when those gladiators are in the arena, and they bring in all these people that are trying to kill them, and they all put their shields up like this, and they create this shell. It looks like a giant turtle shell, and they're all safe under there. So that's you and your leadership team coming together every week. This safe harbor, this safe place that you're all just working hard to build something great in the world. A leadership team that loves each other, cares about each other, is open and honest with each other, that fights for the greater good. It's like a force field. You will be impenetrable. You will be unstoppable. You will make your competitors irrelevant. In worst case, you'll probably get a 45% higher return, 47%, according to the Grossman Group. So thank you for this opportunity. This was such a blast. I hope I conveyed my message. I hope you got your 3 things. Thank you. I love you.